This is a lesson about listening and following directions. Before I begin with the story, I need you to get 2 lined pieces of paper. Your first lined piece of paper will be called notes. Please write notes at the top. Write your name in the upper right-hand corner and your period also. This first paper we're going to do with notes is we're going to write down some information that you need to know prior to me reading a story for you. So right now we're going to write down some vocabulary words and the meaning. Your first vocabulary word is called attaché. It is spelled ATTACHES. An attaché is a diplomatic official. Your next vocabulary word is naturalist. Naturalist is spelled Naturalist. A naturalist is a person who studies nature by observing animals and plants. Your next vocabulary word is forfeit. Forfeit is spelled Forfeit. To forfeit means to give up as a penalty. And your fourth vocabulary word is rupees. Rupees is spelled Rupees. This is an Indian name for money, like dollars in the United States, only they are rupees in India. Okay. On the other piece of paper, you're going to write evidence of learning at the top, your name and period number in the upper right-hand corner, and then you're going to number 1 through 5. At any time while I'm reading the story, you could pause it. You can always go back to listen to the whole thing again. But what I want you to do is I want you to listen to the story, and then I will ask you some questions. The story is called The Dinner Party. The country is India. A colonial official and his wife are giving a large dinner party. They are seated with their guests, army officers and government attachés and their wives, and a visiting American naturalist in their spacious dining room, which has a bare marble floor, open rafters, and wide glass doors opening onto a veranda. A spirited discussion springs up between a young girl who insists that women have outgrown the jumping on the chair at the sight of a mouse era, and a colonel who says that they haven't. A woman's unfailing reaction in any crisis, the colonel says, is to scream. While a man may feel like it, he has that ounce more of nerve control than a woman has. That last ounce is what counts. The American does not join in the argument, but watches the other guests. As he looks, he sees a strange expression come over the face of the hostess. She is staring straight ahead, her muscles contracting slightly. With a slight gesture, she summons the Indian boy standing behind her chair and whispers to him. The boy's eyes widen. He quickly leaves the room. Of the guests, none except the American notices this, nor sees the boy place a bowl of milk on the veranda just outside the open door. The American comes to with a start. In India, milk in a bowl means only one thing: bait for a snake. He realizes there must be a cobra in the room. He looks up at the rafters, the likeliest place, but they are bare. 3 corners of the room are empty, And in the fourth, the servants are waiting to serve the next course. There is only one place left, under the table. His first impulse is to jump back and warn the others, but he knows the commotion would frighten the cobra into striking. He speaks quickly, the tone of his voice so arresting that it sobers everyone. I want to know just what control everyone at this table has. I will count to 300. That's 5 minutes. And not one of you is to move a muscle. Those who move will forfeit 50 rupees. Ready? The 20 people sit like stone images while he counts. He is saying 280 when out of the corner of his eye he sees the cobra emerge and make for the bowl of milk. Screams ring out as he jumps to slam the veranda door safely shut. You were right, Colonel, the host exclaims. A man has just shown us an example of perfect control. Just a minute, the American says, turning to his hostess. Mrs. Wins, how did you know that cobra was in the room? A faint smile lights up the woman's face as she replies, because it was crawling across my foot. Now, here are your questions to answer. Number 1, the setting of the story is colonial. A, America. B, India. C, Africa. D, Australia. Number 2, which of the following events in the plot of the story happens first? F, the American challenges the guest to remain still. G, a cobra is attracted to milk. H, the hostess whispers to a servant. J, the colonel argues with the girl. Number 3, what later event explains the strange expression on the hostess's face? A, a cobra has crawled across her foot. B, she dislikes the colonel's biased opinions about women. C, the servant is not doing his job. D, she sees a cobra on the veranda. Number 4, what later event explains why the boy places the milk on the veranda? F, the colonel's speech bores him. G, the American has seen a cobra. H, a cobra makes for the milk. J, the American proposes a challenge. Number 5, what event marks the climax of the story? A, the argument between the girl and the colonel ends. B, the boy places a bowl of milk on the veranda. C, the American begins to count. D, the cobra emerges and screams ring out. Okay. Also on your evidence of learning page, I need you to number 1 through 5 and call this vocabulary. I'm going to read you a sentence and you're going to listen to how the specific word is used. And then you're going to choose another sentence where the word is used the same way. So, number 1, he put his fur in order, scratched himself, and jumped on the small boy's shoulder. The word we're looking at is order. How is order used in this sentence? He put his fur in order, scratched himself, and jumped on the small boy's shoulder. Here are your answer choices. A, the order of the processional will be shortest person to tallest. B, the new order could not be filled because there were no more boxes. C, the meeting will come to order. D, coming out of the water, the swimmer swept his hair back into order. Number 2, The word we're going to look at is end. She had crept up behind him as he was talking to make an end of him. How is the word end used in this sentence? She had crept up behind him as he was talking to make an end of him. Here are your choices. F. The fullback carried the ball into the end zone and scored a touchdown. G. The end of the story was too sad. H. The dinner guest looked as if it would be the end of him if he had to eat one more bite. J. Mr. Lee lives at the end of the road. Number 3. The word we're going to focus on is stroke. When a snake misses its stroke, it never says anything or gives any sign of what it means to do next. Again, the word is stroke. When a snake misses its stroke, it never says anything or gives any sign of what it means to do next. Which of the following sentences uses stroke in the same way? On the stroke of midnight, the old year gives way to the new year. That was letter A. Letter B. Winning the football pool was a stroke of good luck. Letter C. With one more stroke of the axe, the tree was felled. Letter D. It was said that the neighbor on the corner had suffered a stroke. Number 4. Rikki Tikki knew he was a young mongoose, and it made him all the more pleased to think that he had managed to escape a blow from behind. The word is blow. How is blow used in this sentence? Rikki Tikki knew he was a young mongoose, and it made him all the more pleased to think that he had managed to escape a blow from behind. Here are your answer choices. F. Which way does the wind blow? G. There is one more candle to blow out. H. Jack felled the giant with one blow. J. Stop now and blow your nose. Number 5. He spread out his hood more than ever, and Rikki Tikki saw the spectacle mark on the back of it that looks exactly like the eye part of a hook and eye fastening. The word we're focusing on is mark. He spread out his hood more than ever, and Rikki Tikki saw the spectacle mark on the back of it that looks exactly like the eye part of a hook and eye fastening. Here are your choices. A. Mark my words, no good will come of this. B. This mark indicates the ball is mine. C. He hopes to get a higher mark in geometry this semester. D. Saying thank you is a mark of good manners. This concludes this first listening and following directions lesson.